Hello and welcome back to the show. Today we are poring over the latest numbers from GM Breweries Limited. They are primarily known for their country liquor business, right?
That's right. GM Breweries operates mainly in the country liquor segment, headquartered in Mumbai, Maharashtra. They recently released their audited financial results, so let's get into it.
Okay, so what period are we looking at? And are these consolidated or standalone figures?
These are the audited standalone financial results for the quarter and the full financial year ended March 31, 2025. It's important to note we only have the standalone figures today, no consolidated results were provided in this particular filing. The Board of Directors approved these results on April 15, 2025.
Got it, standalone only. So let's start with the top line. How did their revenue look for the quarter and the full year?
Okay, looking at the standalone figures for the fourth quarter of financial year 25, that's the quarter ended March 31, 2025. Revenue from operations came in at 663.13 crore rupees. That's up compared to the 623.24 crore rupees they reported in the same quarter last year, financial year 24.
So revenue is up for the quarter. What about the full year?
Similar trend for the full year. For the financial year ending March 25, total revenue from operations was 2,503.69 crore rupees compared to 2,415.30 crore rupees in the previous financial year. So, decent growth on the revenue side, both quarterly and annually year-over-year.
Revenue's up, that's positive. But what about the profits? Did they follow suit?
Here's where the story gets interesting. Despite the higher revenue, profits were actually down. For the fourth quarter, profit before tax, or PBT, stood at 68.32 crore rupees, which is significantly lower than the 94.51 crore rupees in the fourth quarter of last year.
Wow, that's quite a drop for the quarter. How did the full year PBT look?
The full year PBT also saw a decline. For financial year 25, it was 159.96 crore rupees, down from 181.21 crore rupees in financial year 24.
Revenue up, PBT down. What about the bottom line, the profit after tax, or PAT?
Same story there. For the fourth quarter, PAT was 60.46 crore rupees, down from 86.64 crore rupees year-over-year. And for the full financial year 25, PAT was 129.04 crore rupees, compared to 151.52 crore rupees in financial year 24.
Okay, that divergence is definitely something to dig into. Before we do, did they report EBITDA or can we calculate a proxy?
They didn't report EBITDA explicitly, but we can calculate it by adding back finance costs and depreciation and amortization to the PBT. Based on that, for the fourth quarter of financial year 25, the calculated EBITDA would be around 69.14 crore rupees, down from about 96.30 crore rupees in Q4 FY24. For the full year, calculated EBITDA for FY25 is roughly 165.72 crore rupees, down from about 187.71 crore rupees in FY24. So the trend holds. Operational profitability by this measure also seems to be lower year-over-year.
And how did this impact the earnings per share, the EPS?
Consistent with the lower profits, the basic and diluted EPS for the full financial year 25 was 56.48 rupees, a noticeable drop from 82.90 rupees in financial year 24.
Right, so the big question is why are profits and EBITDA down when revenue is up? Any clues in the report, maybe significant expenses or other income changes?
A key factor seems to be other income. While it was substantial in the fourth quarter at 40.42 crore rupees, the notes reveal something important. Note 5 points out that the profit for the quarter and year ended March 31, 2025 includes gains on units of mutual funds amounting to 27.67 crore rupees. However, for the previous financial year ended March 31, 2024, that same gain was much higher at 57.90 crore rupees.
So lower gains from their mutual fund investments this year compared to last year significantly impacted the PBT and PAT comparison.
Exactly. That lower contribution from other income seems to be a major driver of the year-over-year profit decline, even though core revenue grew. Looking at expenses, the major ones like cost of materials consumed and excise duty seem relatively stable as a percentage of revenue.
Okay, that makes sense. What about profitability margins then? How did they look?
As you'd expect, with profits down despite revenue growth, the margins compressed. The net profit margin for the fourth quarter was around 9.1%, down from nearly 13.9% in the same quarter last year. For the full year, the net profit margin dropped to about 5.15% from around 6.27% in the previous year.
Were there any exceptional items reported that might muddy the waters?
No, the results appear clean in that regard. There were no exceptional items reported for the periods under review, which makes the comparison of ongoing operational performance a bit clearer, aside from the fluctuating other income.
Let's shift to the balance sheet. How does the company look financially as of March 31st, 2025?
The balance sheet looks quite robust actually. Total assets increased to 1,097.56 crore rupees from 917.44 crore rupees the previous year. A large chunk of this is in financial assets, specifically investments which stand at 589.59 crore rupees and also investment property at 241.12 crore rupees.
And on the other side, liabilities and equity?
Equity has strengthened, standing at 938.56 crore rupees, up from 822.32 crore rupees. Liabilities appear quite low. Total non-current liabilities are just 1.51 crore rupees and current liabilities are 157.49 crore rupees, mostly comprising trade payables and other current liabilities. Finance costs are minimal, suggesting very little debt, which is a healthy sign.
Okay, strong balance sheet, low debt. How about the cash flow for the full year?
The cash flow statement shows some interesting movements for the financial year 25. Cash flow from operations was very strong at 161.68 crore rupees, a big jump from 59.27 crore rupees in the previous year. This seems largely driven by favorable changes in working capital, particularly a decrease in other current assets.
That's a significant increase in operating cash. What about investing and financing activities?
Investing activities saw a large outflow of 148.60 crore rupees, much higher than the 48.49 crore rupees outflow last year. This reflects the increase in their investments, financial assets, investment property, and even fixed deposits with longer maturities. Financing activities had an outflow of 13.37 crore rupees, slightly up from last year, mainly due to the dividend paid.
So strong operating cash flow being channeled into investments and dividends. What was the net result on their cash balance?
Despite the strong operating cash flow, the large investing outflow resulted in a net decrease in cash and cash equivalents for the year of about 28.91 lakh rupees. They ended the year with a relatively modest cash balance of 75.58 lakh rupees.
Got it. Now usually, we discuss segment performance, but you mentioned earlier they are a single segment company?
Correct. Note 3 in the financial results explicitly states that the company's operation at present is confined to only one segment, namely country liquor. So no segment-wise breakdown is applicable here.
Okay. So summarizing, the performance, revenue grew, but core profitability and the bottom line were down year over year, partly due to lower investment gains. Anything else noteworthy from the report, like dividends?
Yes, definitely on the dividend front. The board has proposed or recommended a dividend at 75%, which translates to 7.50 rupees per equity share of 10 rupees each. An important point mentioned in both the cover letter and note 4 is that this dividend is proposed on the enhanced capital after a bonus issue in the ratio of 1:4 for the year ended March 31st, 2024.
Good news for shareholders then. Now, a critical part, the auditor's report. Who are the auditors, and what was their opinion on these standalone financials?
The auditors are VP Mehta and Company Chartered Accountants. And this is a key positive takeaway. They have issued an unmodified opinion on these standalone financial statements.
Unmodified? So that means a clean chit, essentially.
Yes. In their opinion, the standalone financial statements give a true and fair view of the company's financial position as at March 31st, 2025, and its financial performance and cash flows for the year then ended, in conformity with the Indian accounting standards Ind AS and other accounting principles generally accepted in India.
That's reassuring. Did they highlight any key audit matters or concerns about internal controls?
They didn't list any specific key audit matters in their report, which is common when there aren't significant issues requiring special mention. Furthermore, in their separate report on internal financial controls over financial reporting, Annexure B, they also gave an unmodified opinion stating that the company has, in all material respects, an adequate internal financial control system over financial reporting, and such controls were operating effectively as at March 31, 2025. The company itself also filed a declaration confirming the unmodified opinion from the auditors.
So, a clean bill of health from the auditors on both the financials and the internal controls. That contrasts significantly with some other reports we've seen.
Absolutely. It suggests a good level of compliance and reporting accuracy according to the auditors. Their review under the CARO, Company's Auditor's Report Order, also appears clean based on the annexure, with no major red flags like defaults or fraud mentioned. They also noted that the company used accounting software with an operational audit trail feature.
Okay, so putting it all together, what's the outlook based on these results? Any final thoughts on risks and drivers?
Disclaimer: as always, we advise investors to consult with certified financial experts before making any investment decisions. GM Breweries shows a growing core business with increasing revenue in its single segment. The dip in profitability this year seems significantly influenced by lower non-operational income, that's mutual fund gains. But potential pressure on core operating margins shouldn't be ignored. The balance sheet is strong with very low debt, which provides resilience. The dividend recommendation signals confidence. The clean auditor's report is a major positive.
And risks?
Standard risks for this industry would apply: changes in government regulations, excise duties, raw material costs like molasses, and competition. Maintaining profitability levels amidst these factors will be key. They also need to manage their significant investment portfolio effectively.
Right? So to wrap up, GM Breweries reported higher standalone revenue for FY25 but lower profits and margins, partly due to reduced investment gains. They boast a strong low debt balance sheet and robust operating cash flow. The board has recommended a dividend, and crucially, the auditors issued a clean, unmodified opinion on the financials and internal controls.
Exactly. A mixed picture on the profit front year over year, but fundamentally sound based on the balance sheet and the auditor's assessment. Definitely one where investors will be watching future profitability trends closely.
Thanks for that detailed breakdown. A lot to consider there.
Thank you for providing that information. Is there anything specific you would like me to do with it, or do you have any other questions for me?